After major storms and an atmospheric river moved into California the past few days, the state's first snowpack measurement of the year recorded 55.5 inches of snow depth. This is 177% of average for the Phillips station.
Our snowpack is actually off to one of its best start in the past 40 years. However, that doesn't mean we're out of the woods quite yet, and we must continue to remain vigilant and continue to conserve water.
An upcoming major storm is looming over the middle of the week for California. San Francisco mayor and officials remind the public about storm preparedness. They said they already had 2,500 volunteers to clear out 3,800 storm drains to prepare.
In fact, what we saw within a 24-hour period was a 5.5 inches of rain, which is one of the second largest amounts of rains that we have seen within a 24-hour period. And in fact, it had not happened in San Francisco in this capacity since 1849.
The National Weather Service says the upcoming storm for Wednesday will likely be one of the most impactful systems on a widespread scale. It says the impacts will include widespread flooding, roads washing out, hillside collapsing, trees down, widespread power outages, immediate disruption to commerce, and the worst of all, likely loss of human life. This is truly a brutal system that we are looking at and needs to be taken seriously.
It will also affect Southern California, at least as far south as Los Angeles County, and there could be some pretty heavy precipitation and strong winds that cause some problems down south as well. The main impacts are going to be in Northern California, though, because the storm will be stronger up there and the antecedent conditions are much wetter.
Daniel Swain, a UCLA climate scientist, says Californians can expect a meteorological bomb cyclone coming Wednesday and Thursday.
Will become a meteorological bomb cyclone. Yes, that is an official meteorological term.
It refers to a rapidly deepening low-pressure system and set to build up about 500 to 800 miles west-northwest of California. It won't come close to the state, but will bring storms to California.
So this storm will be a pretty high-impact storm. Rainfall rates are going to be high for a few hours around the time of cold frontal passage. Winds will be quite strong, even at lower elevations. And so given how saturated the soils are, this is likely to produce pretty widespread minor to moderate flooding, especially urban and creek flooding.
But what does this mean for California's drought? Swain says it can provide temporary drought relief.
In the short term, I think we will have largely alleviated the short-term drought in Northern California. So from a surface soil moisture perspective, from a stream flow perspective, everything's going to look pretty good.
For the upcoming storm, San Francisco city officials recommend having at least a 3-day survival kit, which should include essentials such as water, a first aid kit, flashlights, non-perishable food, and warm clothing. They also remind people to check on friends and family who may need assistance during the storm, especially elderly or those with disabilities. To keep drains from getting clogged, remove debris and sweep up any leaves from sidewalks and storm drains. If the power goes out, unplug and turn off appliances. Leave one light on to signal when power is restored. The city also said that emergencies are opportunities to come together and support those around you, and that sharing a meal, book, or phone charger are even more meaningful in the days after an emergency than before. David Lamb, NTD News, California.